Hey, how's it going, y'all? This is Chaz from Classic Komodo, and this is Addressing the Issue, a series where we talk all about Battlefield, the good and the bad. This time, we're talking about the January 30th update for the PS4 and the Xbox One. Now, the DMRs have seen a lot of love in this past update. They've increased the damage of all the DMRs across all ranges. Specifically, damage has been increased at long ranges to allow 3-hit kills against unarmored opponents. So, what this means is that their DMRs will always have a 3-hit kill unless the opponent has the armor perk. So that's really good because it's starting to be a little bit more consistent. I'm going to talk about the DMRs in a second, though, on why I think they still aren't a valid choice. But additionally, they reduce the penalty to accuracy for sustained DMR fire, allowing for more rapid follow-up shots in combat. This is great too because the recoil and the penalty to accuracy was pretty ridiculous when shooting these things. I mean, I can understand the fact that you're not supposed to spam the DMRs, completely understandable, but the amount of accuracy that they were giving us with the previous DMR was pretty terrible, and they weren't even a viable choice. But now they are actually pretty good considering what they're used for, and I'm going to give them their role in a second. They're going to also say that they're going to keep it at this right now. They're going to leave it at this, see how the DMRs play out, if they're becoming overpowered or whatever, and they're going to monitor the DMRs, and if anything needs to be changed in the future, then they're going to change it. Instead of doing it where they're like increasing the damage, the range, the accuracy, making them OP, you know, like super good, and then scaling it back, what they're doing is adding a little bit at a time. So that way it's not all of a sudden they're super overpowered or something like that. They could actually tweak it a little bit each time. So hopefully we get a nice finished product. The reason why I say that they're not necessarily the greatest right now is because of the fact that 3-hit kills with the DMR is okay, but right now they're still a support weapon. They're not viable enough because up close you're going to lose. 9 out of 10 times you're going to lose unless you get lucky, because you still need 2 shots to kill up close. You can't get a 1-shot kill headshot with these things. The maximum damage is 45 out of all of them. So for the most part, you're never going to get a 1-shot kill. Or actually, not for the most part, entirely. You're never going to get a 1-shot kill. So up close, you're going to lose a lot of firefights. Medium range to a little bit longer range, you're going to lose to a lot of the assault rifles, because the SAR-21, the M416, the ACE, they all have amazing accuracy. And fighting against those, you're going to have a really tough time beating those out, especially with their rate of fire as being fairly good. So that's even a problem. And then in extreme long ranges, you're losing out to snipers. So the thing I'm trying to find is, where do these play out? They don't play up close range, they don't play middle, they don't play kind of long, and they don't play extreme long range. So right now I've been finding that they're really a good support weapon. A lot of people are complaining the fact that the sound is pretty bad when shooting these things. Like when you're getting under suppressed fire, it sounds like sniper rifles are just spamming away at you and you're under continuous fire. And a lot of people have been complaining about that, and they're monitoring that as well. So we'll see the changes in the future, but as of right now, I don't think DMRs are still a viable option. The other items that have actually been addressed is the fact that they've significantly reduced the duration of the black screen when spawning in. And they also fixed a lot of the times when players were getting killed before being in game. That ties in hand with spawning in with the black screen. So when you were trying to spawn in on a teammate, you realized that it took about a little over a second to spawn in. You had this black screen, and right when you spawned in, sometimes you spawned in dead. You didn't know why. I was kind of pro and con for this. The pro reason is the fact that you shouldn't be spawning in on friendlies that have been under fire. You know, you shouldn't be spawning in on these people because you're asking for it. If you're jumping into a match where you spawn in, I don't like spawn protection. So if you're spawning into a friendly and they're under fire, you should die right when you spawn in. Plain and simple. You should be careful on how you spawn in. The con is you're not even seeing what's going on before you spawn in. And also, I don't 100% agree with that statement completely, because of the fact that you can't really address this situation. all you see is what your the character you're spawning in on sees, and very slightly. It's in a small little box where you can see what he's seeing, but you can't address the area that you're spawning in on. I mean, a guy could be right behind him trying to knife him, and then you spawn in, so he knifes you instead and then kills the other guy as well. So you can't really 100% address the situation. He might seem perfectly fine. You spawn in, and then both y'all are dead every time. So it's a little bit of a toss-up with that, but the reduce and the black screen is amazing because it's I mean, it's just an overall better quality instrument that they fixed. They greatly reduced the risk of crosshairs disappearing, and which also would mean the hit markers disappearing. I've had that a bunch of times where I was shooting, didn't even know if I was getting the kill or not. They added the headshot icon. If you haven't seen before, sometimes when you're getting kills and stuff like that, you'll see, or when you die, you'll see on the top of your screen a kind of a skull with the headshot symbol on him. That gives you an indication that you were killed by the headshot. So that way you're not calling the bullshit card when you're like, oh, he only hit me with 2 shots. Well, he might have got 1 shot headshot and 1 chest shot, you know? So make sure you're checking that out too, because that will kind of clarify some things. They also fixed an issue where squad deathmatch, where the win-lose text was overlapping. I mean, okay. The only problem with that is the fact that actually some of the footage I'm going to show you is they messed up on Team Deathmatch. There's no audio in Team Deathmatch right now. Kind of a small thing, but it needs to be fixed because right now in Team Deathmatch you can't really hear anything. They fixed an issue where players were using an exploit with the SoFlam. And also with the MAV. I'm not 100% sure what the SoFlam for. The MAV, what they meant by that is they, on Operation Metro, you can put the MAV on a specific spot and you could climb out to outside the map, and it was terrible and it ruined the game for everybody. So I believe they fixed that one with the MAV. It must be so that the SoFlam, you had the kind of same experience, you could climb on it or something like that. So they fixed those 2 exploits. It's really good because I like seeing it's like fixing issues where players, you know, fixing the exploit with the SoFlam. A lot of people don't even know what it is. That's awesome that they're fixing it before a lot of people know what's going on with it. If you know what's going on with the MAV and SoFlam, let me know in the description so that way maybe DICE could actually see it. Fix the gameplay code, which to properly track the field of view, changes in the options menu. That's okay. Something small, but it could be better for some. They fixed the they fixed the setting to tweak the joystick or added a setting to tweak the joystick dead zone, which is awesome because there was a lot of the times when I'm playing a joystick dead zone is when you're kind of moving left and right or aiming down. At some points, the joystick isn't as accurate as a mouse. So when moving left and right, sometimes it kind of loses track of what's going on. So you want to make a precise shot, but when you move left slightly, it's not picking up that input. Well, hopefully this setting will help kind of fix those dead zones and stuff like that. Also fix some minor bug fixes and stuff like that. Well, that's for all the ones that they have listed, but they actually changed some other things too, which I'm trying to find out. One of the big things is they got rid of the double and triple SRAW. So a lot of the times when you're trying to use the SRAW, what you could do is shoot 1 time in the air and then 1 time directly at the tank, and both shots would hit the tank because that's how the SRAW was working. But now the initial rocket loses its track and only 1 can be shot at a time, or only 1 can be tracked at a time. So maybe the other way was a little bit unbalanced. Not really sure. I didn't find it unbalanced. I thought it was a good trade-off that you're wasting time, but have a, high risk, high reward kind of scenario. But that's just me. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Addressing the Issue. If you know any other problems or concerns, or you want to just leave some comment down below, let me know what you want to hear in the next episode. Let me know, guys, and as always, stay classy.